Hey everyone, this is Nikachu, Merfolk Master, and I am already in the middle of a game with Simic Merfolk in Modern. We're just going to get through our sponsors very quickly. TheManaBase.com, your home base for everything Magic the Gathering, and the MTG Mastermind. If you want to have access to the MTG Mastermind, they've opened up a tournament success group on Facebook. Go check it out in the description below. Alright, so long story short, mulligan to 4, and didn't realize I wasn't recording, so now we are recording. And now my opponent is going off. You didn't miss much. You didn't miss much. My opponent is just getting a little impatient that I'm not playing faster. Apparently that's... I didn't realize I wasn't recording. I am now recording. So we had like unplayable 7-card hand, unplayable 6-card hand, unplayable 5, like unplayable everything. So they've got a Saheeli out. I've got an Oko. So what can we do here? Every artifact you control becomes a copy of another target artifact. Should I play the Oko? Is it Oko time? Or is it time to just kill this Saheeli? I think it's time to just kill this Saheeli, to be honest. We don't kill this Saheeli right now, but, you know, eventually we will. Maybe that wasn't even the right thing to do. If we could attack our opponent for 3, they go down to 15. No, I guess it's okay. Oh, no, not the Paradox. Oh, Urza. Okay, Urza I can deal with. Urza's not the biggest deal. Urza thinks he's a big deal. You think you're a big deal. You're not actually a big deal. Is this going to be another game where I, like, steal the Urza? So I will have to kill the Saheeli, otherwise this is just going to be like an infinite amount of mana. Oh no, the Paradox. Alright, so it's over. It's over. We're gonna die. Horrible death. Just drew a million cards. Okay, we can yield through this turn. That's fine. So, unlike the really difficult matchup we had against the Urza matchup in the Urza deck, Urza Paradox is way easier to beat. It's way more beatable because of millions of factors. First off, we can force negation the stupid paradoxical outcome, and then the whole deck doesn't do anything. Second thing is that Collector Oof... Actually, yeah, Collector Oof does still do a number against this deck. You know, shutting off Mox Opal, Everflowing Chalice, Engineered Explosives, all that stuff. So I'm very, very confident in this matchup. Yeah, so I'm very confident. I'm looking forward to it. We don't have force negation in this game, so we're gonna die in game 1. Like we said in all the other matchups, you know. We might lose game 1, but it doesn't mean we're gonna lose game 2 and 3. In fact, our opponents have been just straight up resigning to us in all the other games. So now... Well, now this sucks. They got the Engineered Explosives on 2. Oh, how convenient. None of your stuff is on 2. I guess I'll see if they let me kill their Saheeli. They have mana to add with Urza if necessary to pop the explosives. Ideally, I want to play Oko. I want to turn the explosives into... Okay, we can just resign this. It's fine. I'm dead. I'm convinced. I'm not coming back. So we're going to bring in all the oofs. All the counterspells. Counterspells are very good. Also, Chalice on 0 is not bad. Things to take out. 2 Ether Vials. Spreading Seizes. Brazen Borrower doesn't bounce anything. Also is stone blocked by the Thopters that they bring in. I don't need Oko. Yeah, that's perfect. I don't need Oko. My sideboard guide says I'm taking... Oh no, I'm bringing in the Force of Negation. I'm bringing in a Force of Negation. I thought I was taking out. So this looks great. Am I missing anything? Nope. Truth be told, I don't even think Oko is that great in this deck, but great in this matchup. Maybe he'll do something. Maybe. Maybe we'll see something out of Collector Roof. I keep losing to hardened scales on camera. Oh, this hand sucks. Mulligan. I will keep this. This hand looks close to unbeatable. I sort of want to keep the Chalice to put on 0, but I think it's just a bit more important to keep all the counter spells. Your turn, Mr. Bond. Like, keeping Chalice to play on 0 on the play or 1. Like, I don't need to have it on 0 on the play, because I'm going to have this oof to shut down all their cards. Like, yeah, I don't care. Go for it. Sure. There's an Arkham's Astrolabe and a this stupid Gira per Ether Grid. Yeah, you can cast that. It won't do anything. But you can cast it. Scalding Tarn. Mox Amber. What, fetching to thin the deck? Our opponent does not want to waste time. So we will put a Silver Gill Adept in play. Get our beatdown going. Another oof. That's not good news for our opponent. It's not good news. It's not good news. Mirrodin Besieged. As enter the battlefield, choose Mirrodin or Phyrexian. Choose Mirrodin or Phyrexian. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, create a 1/1 colorless mirror artifact creature token. If they choose Phyrexian, at the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. Then if there are 15 or more cards in your graveyard, target opponent loses the game. Okay. I sincerely wish I had more counterspells in my hand. Alright, so I wish I had more blue cards in my hand to pitch that Force Negation away. I don't want to lose this Silver Gill Adept. We're choked on mana. I'm choked. I'm a bit choked on mana. I have to pass. I really wish I drew a land, because if I did, then I could, at least get our Kumena Speaker on the battlefield, get a little bit more pressure going. So anyway, now we're a little vulnerable. We're a little vulnerable. They might play Urza's Paradox on our turn now. So we counter that. Play land. I screwed that up. Magic is a hard game. Magic is a hard game, ladies and gentlemen. Did I have lethal next turn? I didn't, but that's not good. Is this gonna be a second Urza's Paradox? No, it is not. I think I'm just going to play Lord of Atlantis. Oh no! Oh, this is... I'm terrible. I am just terrible. Whatever steam I had, I just completely ran out of steam at the very end of this league. That stupid Amory work... Yeah, Lord of Atlantis give, and Lord of Atlantis give and taketh. Well, they've got a lot of mana, but is there anything they can do with it now? Oh, that was just awful. So they can, yeah, bring the engineered explosives back. Put it on what? I guess they can put it on 2? Okay, so it's not over yet, but like this is... It went from... Oh, I mean, it was over. I attacked for 3. Then the next turn I attack for lethal. Like, we can rebuild! We can rebuild. As silly as this looks, we can rebuild. I even had the warning. Okay, I can't do anything. Come on, Magic Online Client. So did they play 2 baubles? I've got an Oko. Not that it matters. Alright, let's do this again. I deserve to lose this game. I deserve to lose this game. I can't even blame this on my brother. He's not even here. He's not even here. Okay, we have a second Emery. Every turn that goes by is not good for me, though. All they have to do is draw like a... What was that? Besieged card? What was this thing? Mirrodin Besieged? It's an interesting win condition. That's a very interesting win condition. Why doesn't Mill play with that? Isn't that a good win condition for Mill? Let's read that card. At the beginning of your end step, draw a card, then discard a card. If there are 15 or more... artifact cards. I see, I see. Interesting. Such good value. Such good value. Well, I don't have anything to do, so let's attack with both these critters. Then we'll play our Oko. Hope that's enough. Pass the turn. Alright, so the game is going to go on for a little bit longer. They need to find a removal spell for the Collector Roof. If they can't, they're doomed. Alright, we win. It was very sloppy, but we win. Thank God this matchup is good. Alright, we're just going to run this back. Chalice on 0 would have done quite a bit that game. Look how vulnerable that deck is to just Chalice on 0. Oh. Is this worth keeping? I actually have pressure. I can actually attack with Mutavaults. What are the odds we draw a green source in the next, I don't know how many turns? And we have a Force Negation. I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it. You know, to be a Merfolk Master, sometimes you gotta be greedy. Greedy as hell. Sacrifice this, draw 2 cards. That's fine. You can't sacrifice it if a Collector Roof is in play. Damn it, they're going to get all their 0 mana spells in play before... Oh no, actually, I can't remember. There's... So, if they don't play so many 0 mana spells, it implies that they've got Saheeli Rai. Or not Saheeli Rai, Saheeli. Alright, let's go. I'm going to attack with my Mutavaults. Pitching the Silver Gillidav, by the way. Or maybe not. Can't remember. What's best here? I'm going to play this thing on 1. Get rid of Witching Wells and crap like that. So you get loot every turn. I don't like that. I don't like that. Not a fan. Keeping Silver Gillidav because it's more likely I draw an island followed by a Merfolk than 2 islands. Or actually, I don't know what's more likely. Yeah, let's get on Mutavault beatdown plan. Urza? Okay, Urza's a bit of a problem here. Urza is a problem. I'm not going to claim that Urza's not a problem. Emry's a problem too. Arkham's Astrolabe, Psy, Jeskai Ascendancy. Oh, my greed is now getting punished. The hand was good. Well, I don't know. It's debatable. It's debatable. I should really calculate how, like, what if I keep a no green hand on the draw and the play with Collector Roof, what are the odds of drawing that green source within, I don't know, the first, I don't know how many turns? You know? If they attack with this construct, I'm snap blocking it. There's a point where I am now getting unlucky. Like, I kept the hand with the expectation that, you know, if I draw so many cards, I'm going to draw at least a blue or a green source. I have 13 green sources in my deck? 14 maybe? No, I think that's 12. 4 blue, 4 Mutavaults, 12. Well, they're not... Screw you! Screw you, deck. They're going to try to sacrifice their Witching Well now. Which, if I can get a Collector Roof in play, they can't do that. Hoping they can just draw into garbage. They drew a few cards. They drew a few cards. So what's going to be the plan? I think if I can get an Oko in play, I'll tick it up, and then we'll try to steal this Urza, because if they don't have an Urza, I don't think they're doing anything. I don't think they have a means of winning the game. And with these 2 Chalice of the Voids, they're only 2 in our deck, but they're actually preventing our opponent from actually playing anything. X equals 3. That's interesting. So it misses the Chalice of the Voids. Or they have Sunburst of 2. But then it's not going to matter if I get the Collector Roof in play. Like, it's just not going to matter. Jeez, these Botanical Sanctums. Would you like to sacrifice your engineered explosives? The card will do nothing otherwise. I'm not afraid of Fatal Push or Galvanic Blast here. Okay, we're getting ready for Oko. We're getting ready for Oko. Activated abilities of Chalice of the Void do not exist. Another Emery. I hope they have only like one of those Mirrodin Besiege cards. Urza. I'm telling you, once we steal this Urza, it's gonna be all over. This is gonna be Urza Paradox for oh, this is 5 mana. I have no idea what's going on. Oh. Of course, activate Urza. Blanks! Blanks all around. Yeah, you can try. You absolutely can try. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play Oko, steal their Urza. Not immediately, but eventually. Interesting! Counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. I cannot pay 3. Alright, so now we're just gonna be on like a beatdown plan, I guess. Can't attack into anything, they can just double block a Mutavault. I do not have Chalice on 3. I have Chalice on a lot of things, but not 3. Uh-oh, Jeskai Ascendancy. Alright, so this might start to get interesting. They can't get any artifacts on the battlefield, but they can start looting like crazy. Or do they... Okay, can they go infinite somehow? Maybe they can go infinite here. Because they're always looting. Construct gets bigger. I can block the Construct. But maybe they can win. They have quite a bit of creatures, mind you. Oh, that's gonna kill us. Sai will kill us for sure. Oops. Okay, I can't do anything. Yield through this turn. It's all coming together for our opponent right now. It's all coming together. Oh, and I have to turn off auto yields, actually. Because I need to block with my Mutavault. I'm just gonna automatically auto yield to all these things. Always yield, always yield, always yield. So, I mean, if we don't die this turn, we're going to die the next turn, that's for sure. You know what's an interesting thing? I wonder if playing the 4th Mutavault has any influence on this particular match. And even in my other matches, like this Mutavault was like, maybe the 4th Mutavault is just too much for Simic Merfolk. Unfortunately, none of this stuff has haste. Oh, I see. I'm just going to die to this. They're just going to cast something, untap Emery, play Emery, make a million tokens, And then the onus is on me to sweep the board somehow. Or disable Jeskai Ascendancy, which I can't do. Now, a candidate for getting banned one day is just this card. This is a very poorly designed card. That was a terrible card. You know, all this stuff online, this isn't... Like, it's pretty egregious, but, you know, like, whatever. The client just does everything for you. But on paper, this is awful. This is just terrible. And there's so much room for making mistakes. Like floating too much mana by accident, or not untapping your creatures, or losing track of what has prowess. And as new creatures come into the battlefield, they have less prowess than the ones that had before. Like, it's a mess. So I'm guaranteed to lose this. So we can talk a little bit about, you know, what went wrong. Maybe it was a greedy hand to keep. Maybe it was a greedy hand to keep. I was on the draw. I could have taken another draw. Like, so my greedy keeps this league did not pay off. None of them paid off. This one was a little bit greedier than usual. Especially since, like, I had a Silvergill Adept in hand, but I didn't have a Merfolk to go with it. But I think you could see that, you know, with, you know, Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1... they did nothing for a very long time, and if I could just draw into some lands... and start actually putting some pressure on my opponent. Like, I had a lot of time. I really did have a lot of time to start getting my game going. It's not until turn 9 right now that they're actually going off. And if I could get Oko in play and just disable this Urza, that would be a big deal as well. Actually, I don't know how much Urza is playing a part, because all of these things can add mana, but I don't think they are actually adding mana. Okay, that's fine. I think I can... Okay, I can concede. I can save my opponent some time. Apologize for wasting their time. So overall, I don't think this league was that good. We, if you've been here since the beginning, so I go 3-2, but like 2 of the match wins were like really loose. I mean, I don't know if we can like really take credit for that. Can we see what those match wins were like? Although I feel like this was worth a 4-1 at the very least. We got okay. It's debatable if I got unlucky in that last match. It's debatable. So we take a look at the list. I think overall it's still good. I don't know. Maybe Brazen Borrower maybe it could be something else. Plague Engineer might be really low in numbers, and the necessity of this is not very high. I should look very closely at the Urza deck to see if they're playing... Are they playing Pithing Needle effects? Are they playing Sorcerer's Spyglass to deal with Oko? Because maybe not, because they're playing with their own Oko. If they're playing with their own Oko, at least in Urza, then we don't have to worry about them Pithing Needling Oko. At least I don't think so. Well, but it's still nice to have. I mean, like, you still have to be prepared against things like humans and other vile matchups. I do believe, though, that Oko is so strong that it's worth having 4. Definitely have around the 2 to 3 range. The 4th is just extra. Overall, League was a little bit disappointing because we're playing Simic Merfolk for like the collector oof, and like it didn't come through for us against Hardened Scales or what's it called? Against Hardened Scales or the Urza deck that we just played against. And maybe this Mutavault just needs to be... Maybe this was just wrong. Maybe it's just too greedy to play 4 Mutavaults, and I should just have the Cavern. Oops. Looking in the wrong spot. Like, I tried to play 4 Mutavaults for threat density. Helped us against Grixis Death Shadow. But maybe overall this is just not where we want to be. We need that extra blue or green source. This is just a little too greedy. It's just a little too greedy for our mana base. It's a little too greedy. We need to be a little bit more consistent. I might be results oriented. It's possible. And like, of course, I could have had better mulligans in the against the Urza deck, but like I was a little bit I was satisfied at like 2 Mutavaults, and going to 3 seemed like okay, but a little bit of a stretch. And now going for that going for that 4th Mutavault, it just sucks against that Urza deck that we just could not play our spells for 7 turns. That's a long time. You know, someone out there do the math. What are the odds that we draw a green source on the draw with what, 12 green sources? 4, 8, yeah, with 12 green sources in our deck. What are the odds that we draw one of them? Or how many turns does it take to draw one of them? Like, just statistically significantly. And we couldn't draw it until like turn 7. And then the land was a Botanical Sanctum. That was just gross. So I can chalk a little bit up to luck, but no, maybe it was a mulligan. I don't know. What would you do? What would you do with that hand? I know I mean, a lot of people might be like, oh, we're gonna snap mulligan this hand, but I saw value in the Chalice. I saw value with the Force Negation. And you just need like 1 green source. Collector Roof is really good. I liked it. And we had, actually, with 2 Chalices, I think I drew into the second one, we had a luck! It was like a luck. We had to force our opponent to draw into their 3 mana spells in order to do anything. But anyway, that's the league for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. We will definitely still be keeping up with Merfolk in Modern on this channel. So we're going to thank all my patrons supporting me on Patreon. We're also going to thank the manabase.com and the MTG Mastermind for being our sponsors. This is Nikachu playing with Simic Merfolk in Modern.